morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. It's a very now busy period in the year, leading to some holidays for some of us. So thank you very much. And before starting, just some practical, as you know, for many of you, you have this session is translated into English, French, and Portuguese. So you have to choose the little globe interpretation, click and choose your language. And then you can use your the chat and the Q&A to post comments, insights, and react. As you know, we don't open for the floor because normally the number of participants is too high, let's see today, but use please the chat for any concern and contribution you want to make. And thank you very much again. You know that is the session number 16 today of our great collaboration with the Pan-African Farmers Organization, PAFO, and COLEAD, bringing together very successful cases from smallholders, cooperatives, SMEs, and businesses, enterprises, African-led in different topics, 16 topics so far. And today we have a very, very exciting one, which is a niche marketing strategies for SMEs and smallholder farmers. We try to see each time what are the markets more lucrative, remunerative, offering a maximum of opportunities for the MSMEs and smallholders. And we believe that the niche markets can be very, very interesting and are actually very interesting. So I will give a few information actually on the session and the speakers, but let's first give the floor for a few remarks, introductory remarks to Jeremy KNOPS and from COLEAD, and then followed by Babafemi OYEWOLE from PAFO. Jeremy, as you know, is the DG of COLEAD, the organization I work for, and with a non-for-profit association of private sector operators in the agri-food sector, and with, of course, a lot of experience on management, on the agri-food and value chains across actually regions in the world. Thank you very much, Jeremy, for being with us. I know it's not very easy. It's our last week officially of work, so it's a very busy year. Jeremy, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Isolina, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. I would like to thank first fellow panelists for being here with us today, for taking the time to share your inspiring stories. I would like to also, of course, thank participants for following us throughout these series, creating this community, and of course thank BAFO for the continued fruitful partnership that we have undertaken now for a couple of years together. Before I share very brief remarks on today's session, please allow me also to share on behalf of the community here our deepest sympathies and condolences for the Ghanaians, people from Ghana who've been affected very recently on Sunday by the explosion of a fuel depot in Conakry, which has been quite a devastating event. So again, our deepest condolences and sympathies. Now, today's session is interesting, of course, for us for several reasons, and when I was thinking about the angle I wanted to give these introductory remarks, I thought it would be useful maybe go back in time and try to explain how historically we've been approaching this topic at COLEAD through the different programs that we've been managing. So if we take a step back and 10 years ago, the way through our work with cooperatives, with MSMEs, we'd be looking at niche markets was essentially through certification against private voluntary standards. and mainly looking at value chains and produce being exported to the European Union. Some of these standards are well known: fair trade certification scheme, organic, or others, I would say, with specific attributes, enabling basically to position the product in a certain way on a market that was not mainstream yet, and limited in size, but promising, and in many cases over the long term that can prove to be more lucrative. Now, the way we organize our work around private voluntary standards and these export markets is around three critical steps. The first step is understanding. It's understanding and identifying some of these relevant standards on different markets, but again, mainly centered in the European Union. Understand, linked, of course, to some of these niche market certifications, some of the challenges associated with them, challenges which we would then, in a step two, try to work directly with the standard setting bodies, because of course we talk a lot, of course, about the opportunities that come with some of these certifications and standards, but it also means in a lot of cases the implementation of a number of measures at production or at processing level, which are not always adapted and suited to the different realities and the contexts throughout the countries where we've been intervening. And once we've identified the kind of relevant private standards, which can prove to be interesting, once we engage with them to have a look in terms of requirements and evolution of those requirements, and to make sure that they stay aligned. Number three is, of course, by providing direct technical assistance and training to the operators in order to be able to fully overcome some of these challenges and seize the opportunities. That was 10 years ago. Now today, of course, as indicated in the briefing note that you'll receive, our work, these attempts to go further, and of course, now through our programs such as Fit for Market Plus, we're not looking only at international export markets to the EU, but looking at all markets of commercialization, and they all have their own dynamics and opportunities. And it's not looking at niche marketing through the angle of private voluntary standards, but taking a more holistic view in terms of processes, innovations, type of products that can be brought to really fully exploit some of these niche markets. That's on the one hand. On the other hand, what we've been trying to do during the past couple of years, of course, to fully embed any kind of reasoning or identification of niche markets within a broader reflection, and providing support at a broader level for operators to fully integrate the identification and potentially a decision to go for one specific evolution on a product, or one specific evolution in terms of branding within a broader business development strategy at the level of the operator, and make sure that the business model remains viable from a financial perspective, but also, of course, from a social and environmental pillar, as really the three pillars of sustainability are fully embedded within our approach. So that's in a nutshell how we are working around this. As I said, we've moved from focusing, I would say, so almost exclusively on private voluntary standards exports to the EU market, to really taking a more holistic view, and also providing more insights in terms of analytical capacity to really understand how markets have been behaving, but also progressively entering more into also some predictive elements when it comes to some specific niche markets in some markets. So I wish all of you a fruitful session as usual. As Isolina said, it's really full of very interesting stories that we'll be hearing. And it's also, of course, the opportunity for me to share my season's greetings and wish you all the best already for the year to come. Thank you, Isolina.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. And when you were, referring to the past, we have just celebrated 10 days ago our 50th anniversary, 50. So I invite you, to look at our website as well, at, the resources we have online and so on. And some of the cases today that will be presented, like the geographical indications, the paper from Cameroon, were supported also by my colleagues from the technical assistance. Without major delay, Babafemi, Dr. Babafemi is the CEO of PAFO, the Pan-African Farmers Organization, and Babafemi OYEWOLE. You would have known him previously, probably, because he was also the CEO of the African Agribusiness Alliance, the CEO of the African Cashew Alliance, and he had also many high-level positions in banking, energy investment, as well as expert to various organizations at international level, like the World Bank and so on. But as Jeremy has said, we are very happy to have this partnership, which is one of the activities, is broader, but very successful with the Pan-African Farmers Organization. We represent the organized farmers across Africa. So it's a number of a very important number of organized smallholders across different value chains in all Africa, all regions of African countries. So Babafemi, thank you very much. Again, thank you very much for joining us, even from leave, which is always very much appreciated. And yes, to the whole team of PAFO, please. You are muted, Dr. Babafemi.
Oh, thank you very much, Isolina, for the introduction, and I also thank Jeremy for the remarks about what you are doing to promote market in agribusiness. Good morning once again, afternoon or evening to our distinguished panelists and participants, depending on where you are joining us from for this event. It is a pleasure for me to welcome you all to the 16th and the last edition of the Innovation Series for 2023. Through this series, the Pan-African Farmers Organization, PAFO, and the Committee Linking Entrepreneurship, Agriculture, and Development, COLID, have been showcasing innovations and successes of African farmer-led businesses and SMEs. These sessions have become very popular, with over 500 people registering for this edition. The edition focuses on niche marketing strategy for SMEs and smallholder farmers. Niche markets consist of groups of consumers, market segment within the large marketplace who have similar demographic, buying behavior, and or lifestyle characteristics. Examples include food buyers who prioritize quality assurances and source of production, and consumers who seek an easy food preparation available in convenient form. Even consumers with the same buying behavior may have different motivations, which are essential elements to know for marketing and promotion. For example, organic consumers used to be identified by their concern for their environment, but now they are entirely different segments of consumers who buy organics because they perceive those foods as having higher nutritional benefits. So niche markets are an attractive opportunity available to us small businesses forced to compete against the scale economics that larger competitors are able to achieve. In the food sector, organics, local products, biodynamics, and humanely treated livestock are a few of the alternative product choices sought by specific consumer segments. The choice to pursue a niche marketing strategy will not guarantee success, and similar to any business decisions, requires critical assessment. Exploring niche markets is representative of the set of management choices every agricultural operations faces, as niche marketing provides creative managers with a means to use new and untapped resources while creating new revenue streams. Doing so successfully requires significantly different management skills and marketing strategies. Essential elements of a niche market strategy to consider include know the customers. Segmenting the overall market allows the business manager to target what the business venture can offer. Set clear goals and objectives for what business hope to achieve by following a niche marketing approach and reach new customer segments, lower marketing costs, and secure premium pricing. I believe these are the issues that our panelists that have been assembled to discuss this theme will highlight and showcase to their peers so that it can be scaled up and reach a larger audience for adoption. I would like to emphasize that, that the support of smallholder farmers and agribusiness SMEs is at the core of PAFO's strategic pillars. PAFO is committed to supporting African SMEs and entrepreneurs to adopt innovations that will boost their productivity, profitability, and sustainability. I therefore call on all participants to feel free to contribute to discussions and ask questions so that we can come up with workable prescription and recommendation that will assist agri-food SMEs and entrepreneurs to better take advantage of the opportunities that niche marketing strategy offers to them. I would like to thank the panelists and colleagues for the colleague team for the technical support for the series. Finally, our hearts and sympathy goes to the people of Guinea for the explosion that happened there last night. We pray that God will console the families of the affected people. And I extend my season's greetings, a happy and prosperous new year to all the participants. I wish you fruitful discussion. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Babafemi, and thank you, Jeremy, for these introductory remarks. I don't have very much to say, but we will add on during the session. What I would like to emphasize as well, you remember that at our last session, we quickly launched a blog, agrinovators.org. So my colleagues, Axel and Alison, will put the information on the chat. You participants have requested for months that, you know, between sessions, we have about 5 sessions a year, you would have a space where all the information of these sessions will be consolidated in a multimedia form, but also that you would have a space for networking and, you know, bringing additional information, exchanges, and so on. This has been done now, so no excuses not to join. And we also have started discussions around the 2 topics. One is packaging and labeling, and another one is the climate resilience and what does it mean for small, you know, enterprises, SMEs, and smallholders and cooperatives. So please, Axel, put both connections for the forum. You have the exchange network part. You have to register. We have about 70, you know, SMEs and private sector operators registered. So please do that. You will find, I hope, interesting. So without major delay, nous allons commencer par le Bénin, par Madame.
And so we'll start with Benin. Odile GNONWIN, she's a passionate entrepreneur, like all the entrepreneurs we have in those sessions. She's the founder and CEO of Norée. Norée is a business which produces and processes tiger nuts. And she's heading a team which comprises mostly women, and she launched natural products like tiger nut flour, cream, milk, and oil on the African markets. Of course, she wants to inspire women and also young people because she's pretty young herself and the coming generations. It is particularly interesting for Khalid and PAFO to be a source of inspiration to women and to young people, showing that the agri-food industry can provide income, can create jobs, and is open to business development. Her company has been hailed on several occasions as one of the best innovative agri-food businesses in Benin. And Odile's ambition is really to become Africa's #1 producer and processor of tiger nuts. Odile, thank you very much for being with us today from Benin, and I give you the floor for 10 minutes. Thank you. No sound. Hi, everybody. we can hear you, Odile. Please go ahead. Okay, I hope you're doing fine. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to introduce our company. I am Odile GNONWIN, and I've been doing tiger nut processing since 2015. Souchet in French, tiger nut in French, or soil almond. It's a naturally sweet product which is found generally in Niger, in Benin, Togo, and even in Burkina Faso. And Spain as well is developing its production. You have the 3 sizes of tubers of nuts, small, medium, and big. So we bring value by processing tiger nuts into different products, namely flour, cream, liquor, milk, and dumplings, which means that we actually want to diversify tiger nuts and obtain a wide range of tiger nut-based products. So we've been able, why are we doing this? Actually, we found out that many people find it difficult to eat tiger nuts. In general, in Africa, tiger nuts are eaten raw or roasted, and very often it causes severe toothache. And also, we noted that many Africans suffer from indigestion, constipation, and infertility. Tiger nuts are very scarce, difficult to harvest, and not many farmers are interested in that product. For that reason, we decided to make sure that tiger nuts could be consumed in a different manner, as a beverage, for instance. And eating tiger nuts provides well-being physically, sexually, and morally. It contains fibers which facilitate digestion, avoid constipation, and in Benin, people enjoy our tiger nut dumplings as snacks. We work with tiger nut producers in Niger and also in North Benin. We buy an average of 12 tons of tiger nuts a year. What about the competitive analysis? We have a better yield, and we have an excellent relationship with producers, wholesalers, and retailers. We also work on biodegradable packagings, for instance, dumplings and flour. For these products, we use biodegradable packaging and paper, which is environmentally friendly. Regarding innovation and research, we try to promote research. For instance, for the beverage, it took us 3 years to develop a highly competitive beverage, and today it is pretty much consumed in Benin and in our sub-regions. It is more and more in demand, and that is our objective, to have a product which would be appreciated everywhere in Africa and in Europe. And we have a high-grade product with a good price. Regarding the market, the opportunities, our products are sold in restaurants, hotels, supermarkets, shops, pastries, bakeries. Indeed, some bakers buy our flour to include it in their products for cookies, crepes, pancakes, and cakes, and so on. And you also have those who do pap, and they use tiger nuts for making pap, and we have contacts with distributors throughout the country, and we also send our products to France, to Canada, and wine sellers are also buying our product. What about the value proposition? Tiger nuts help digestion because of a high fiber contact. They improve fertility, women eating tiger nuts have increased fertility. Same for men. Actually, tiger nuts have something special in the sense that in Africa, for instance, in Benin, to be precise, lots of doctors recommend that people eat tiger nuts. It increases the semen rate in men, and it increases their fertility. Of course, tiger nuts preserve the environment and enhance African crops. What are our products? The beverage, it's like whiskey cream, as a matter of fact, except that it is based on tiger nut and palm alcohol. It's called sodabi in Benin. The biscuits and flour and the milk, as you can see on this picture, and plus oil, which does not appear here. What about our team? Our team is comprised of several persons. Myself, I am the managing director of the company. My assistant, Azoma Pablo, who is in charge of distribution, deliveries in Benin or in other countries. The accountant, who is in charge of all financial aspects, and Amasu Colette, who is our HR management. She's in close connection with our workers, most of them being women. And we also have sales agents who are there to advertise our products. And here I am at the end of my presentation. Thank you very much. Thanks for following me and listening to me. Yes, thanks a lot. Just a piece of information, a clarification. Do you export to other countries? Yes, we do not only work in Benin, we export to the sub-region, Ivory Coast, Senegal, Burkina Faso, and we export to France, as well as to Canada. Okay, thank you. One more clarification. How many small growers do you have? Small producers, some 20, I'd say. Okay. In general, in Niger and in northern Benin. So you get your supplies from two countries in West Africa. Very attractive products, nice packaging, and biodegradable packagings as well, which is a good thing. And this will certainly be raised during the debate part of this session. Packaging, of course, is important. If it is biodegradable, it is all the better because it meets one of the requirements of European markets. And now, Borel, ATONFACK, Executive Secretary of GR.IGPP in Cameroon. Borel is an agronomist, but also a specialist in protected geographical indications, PGI, high value-added niche markets. You are the Executive Secretary of the Groupement Indication Géographique Protégée, Poivre de Penja, Penja pepper. Some of you are familiar with this product. Currently, I'm in Brussels, and it can be found in some stores in Brussels. You developed the Poivre de Penja label with your producers. And the GR.IGPP currently groups more than 338 producers in the Penja pepper sector in Cameroon. The geographical production area covers 3,000 square kilometers with an estimated annual production capacity of over 1,600 tons. We wanted to mention protected geographical indications because it is quite an important aspect for the niche sector. I hope that your presentation will be a source of inspiration because such PGIs have a future in Africa with specific products. Thank you, Borel from Cameroon. I give you 10 minutes. Thank you. Thanks a lot and good afternoon, everybody. It's always such a pleasure for us, for the different actors, the different players, and for the national authorities to share our experience worldwide. Thank you, PAFO, for giving us the opportunity to share our experience with other organizations and producers. Thank you also to colleagues for their support and technical accompaniment on a daily basis. We've been working with you and many other partners along different research and development axes to develop poivre de penja pepper in the world. So thank you very much for your invitation. During this session, I'm going to present the GR.IGPP penja pepper. What is it? What is the key role of the actors? I will tell you about what we do, what we are planning to do in terms of marketing. We shall mention the support we get from partners, and then we shall move on to research, innovation, and challenges. So the Groupement Représentatif Representative Group for PIG is an association representing players in the penja pepper industry. It's a trade association which is under Cameroonian law. It has obtained its receipt of declaration in accordance with Article 07 of Law 90053 of 19th of December 1990 on freedom association. Structurally, it includes a General Assembly which votes the different decisions, an executive board managing daily operations, and it also includes the Nurserymen's Association and Association Distributors, Association of Distributors, because they are part of our value chain, and the distributors are in charge of selling the product nationally and internationally. So as you can see, the value chain plays an essential role, and it extends to nurserymen's producers and distributors. Governance: the PGI group is headed by a president-elect at the general meeting by a ballot of all the members of the executive board. The president and his executive board are responsible for implementing all decisions taken at the annual general meeting. And in order to support our marketing strategy, we created a cooperative with the help of FAPO, and it enables us to provide services to our members and to generate income that will help to make the association more self-sufficient. The aim is to allow producers in the field to better develop, and for doing that, we provide technical advice and support to our members, training and capacity building. We also perform internal checks and assessment of members on the basis of specifications. Product approval also. We provide technical support for production, marketing, and awareness raising. You know, we're speaking about geographical designation. It's a special designation, and our growing area is of approximately 3,000 square kilometers in 6 arrondissements and communes. The criteria for delimiting the geographical area are defined by ecological data, soil, climate, and altitude, which give the product the organoleptic qualities for which it is renowned. And the soils concerned in those various districts are basaltic, only, that is volcanic. Regarding penja pepper as PGI, it is the product coming from its the geographical area in compliance with the specifications. Punja pepper is also an element of the heritage of the Cameroon state. Today, the label is recognized by 17 members of the African Organization on Intellectual Properties in September 2013, and it is also recognized by all members of the European Union since 2022. Punja pepper is the first product in sub-Saharan Africa to benefit from a protected geographical indication. It is also the first product from the OIPI zone to be registered as a PGI in the European Union, thanks to our marketing actions. Marketing actions conducted by the State of Cameroon, by the French Development Agency, national players, and so on. And I want to hail the partners who helped us in implementing all those strategies. Notoriety. We also thought that we needed to develop indeed a marketing strategy. And for that reason, the group and all its partners set up a stamping, a marking system. And the idea came not only from the need to develop a marketing strategy, but we also wanted to fight fraud and counterfeiting. For that reason, to be considered as a Poivre de Penja, the producer must be a member of the IGPP group. The producer, the product must be packaged in different formats from 0 to 51 grams, 51 to 100 grams, 101 grams to 150 grams. And also sacks of 20 kilos. The product is sold on national markets and international markets, as I told you. So in the coming days, it will be marked with the EU logo with all traceability elements. That is from farm to fork. And internal control is performed 3 times a year. This has been voted by the General Assembly on the various farms in the production basin. These markings do not suffice. An internal report must be delivered, and a certificate of origin must also be available to make sure that the product comes indeed from the district, but also that the product is authentic. These 3 conditions assume that the following steps have been taken: verification of IGPP membership, geolocation of plots, documentary checks to verify product traceability, physical inspection, and organoleptic control. On those pictures, on those slides, a few forms in which the product is marketed. You have a generic packaging which allows to support small producers, but also individual brands. And beyond this diversity in terms of brands, each packaging is marked with IGP. It is also an element of traceability. And someone who buys such product can scan it, which allows him to trace the entire history from farm to fork, from producer to consumer. It is marked as such for all sales on the national and the international markets. Regarding market shares, Punjab pepper market to date, 60% is sold on local market, 40% on international markets, and the area most affected are, of course, the national markets, as I told you, Central and West Africa, all the countries in the European Union space, United Kingdom, United States of America, and our intention is to conquer other markets worldwide, like Maghreb and, generally speaking, all countries throughout the world. Regarding support from partners, we've benefited from the support of a number of partners, like the state of Cameroon, the African Organization for Intellectual Property, the French Development Agency, and KOLID, of course, who taught a lot about SPS considerations. And we also benefited from the partnership of CIRAD. We were able to identify traders for distributing the product. We were able also to promote awareness among producers and local administrations, and regional and national seminars were organized as an interface between ourselves and donors. Awareness is quite important, as they were made aware on the need to preserve Poivre de Punjab as a niche product. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Borel. It was particularly interesting. This is one of the a key issue for export markets like the European Union. As we said, many markets are available. There is a high potential for African markets, and this is part. This was mentioned in our synthesis, in our note, our summary note. And the African Union also has played a role in distributing, in making your product known, a product which holds a huge potential. Thank you also to our colleagues from the AFD. We have been working in close collaboration with them to support you. In the meantime, Odile has also received a few partnership proposals. She has been given a number of contacts. Tiger nuts is also grown in Cameroon, though it is not that much processed, and I shall give you information about possible entrepreneurs who might be interested. If anyone in the audience, if anyone among the participants wants to present their products, please let us know, and we shall be just too glad to invite you to one of our future sessions as presenters.
So without major delay, we go now to Tanzania, so from West and Central Africa to East Africa. Gideon KALIMANZIRA is the founder and CEO of GIPA Foods and General Supplies in Tanzania. He's a passionate, like all our entrepreneurs, of agriculture development, food, livelihood, and of course agribusiness, but always, like the others, wanting to make a difference at country level and region level. So the business is in Kiba part in Tanzania is focusing on selling cassava starch and animal feeds, and specifically in the area of cassava value addition, and knowing how much cassava is important across actually regions in Africa. It will also be very interesting to listen to him and his business cases. Gideon, please, for 10 minutes max. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think everybody can hear me. Yeah, as I was introduced, this is the CEO from GIPA Foods and General Supplies Limited. Of course, we have been doing the cassava value addition in Tanzania. Many thanks to KOLID and PAFO, who have invited us to participate in this very important session. Of course, we are very happy and humbled to say thank you very much, all of you. As we can see that this is GIPA Force, which is very passionate in making cassava value addition. And these are the opportunities that we are underlying the cassava sector in Tanzania. As you can see, cassava is a very staple food that everybody can consume in Tanzania. And also we have also a vast and suitable land in Tanzania. Cassava is has a very huge market size, estimated to 100 billion USD, you can imagine. Presence of quality improved cassava seeds also motivates us to invest in this sector. Cassava is a very resistant crop towards climatic change. Also, you can see that it is very resistant to diseases, pests, and other challenges. But also, it can be harvested throughout the year. You can plant it throughout the year and it is never disturbed by any challenge. But also we have the growing technologies and cassava processing, which also motivates us to invest in this sector. Tanzania also is the 6th position producer of cassava. Cassava is produced all over Tanzania, especially I think every region is planting and producing this cassava plant. And also we have a diverse utilization of our products that we are producing. This cassava starch can be produced in most areas like pharmaceutical, building materials, but also paper and textile. Also, it can be used also to manufacture cassava feeds. Excel, you can go on. Okay, this is the one which motivated us to go into the field and try to push in order to solve this one. That in Tanzania, we have very underprivileged cassava value addition, which has been causing 80% scarcity of starch, while smallholders also are suffering from post-harvest losses of about 42%. Which is a very huge, a very large problem. But also they have been gaining very small incomes from their producers due to this problem that is facing them as the post-harvest. You can even see how poor technology has been disturbing them. Yeah, this is our solution that we are going to commercialize and prioritize. We have been doing this at Mlandizi Pwani, that the Kibaha area, where we have been producing. We are introducing a very unique mobile cassava processing plant technology to deal with cassava value addition. Hence, we will be able to minimize the scarcity of starch from 80% to at least to minimize our contribution will minimize to about 15%, together with post-harvest losses, which is affecting our smallholders farmers by 16%, which is not a very small thing. This is our business model we have been implementing at our factory, that we have been outsourcing raw materials from the identified and contracted outgrowers, where 80% of them are women, but also we have been processing tubers in a factory in order to get that the 1 kilogram has been bringing us two final products, that is quarter of it is starch and quarter of it is animal feeds products. Then we have been sourcing it to our customers who are food industries. We have textile, briquette, charcoal briquette, pharmaceutical, breweries, also the building materials industries, supermarkets, and animal feeds processing industries at a wholesale. That is, we have been using the B2B model to approach these customers we have been serving. As you can see the model. Yes, this is how we have been visiting our customers, our outgrowers. We have 74 outgrowers whom we have been sourcing raw materials. These are contracted, but also they are produced, they are linked to the producers of improved species cassava, improved cassava species producers who help them to give them some seeds, some improved seeds, so that they may have high yields, but also they escape from the major problem of post-harvest losses. But also we have been doing agronomic trainings on good agronomic practices, which has been part of our intervention to these cassava holder farmers. And this has helped them really that they have improved their produces and their yields. These are the machines. We are glad that all of these machines have been produced in Tanzania, and we are the ones who have been buying these machines. They are produced in Morogoro, and of course they have been helping us and producing this starch together with the animal feeds. So you can see these are some of the machines we have procured in Tanzania. And these are our pictures that shows what we have been doing. You can see the first picture showing how we were recognized as the best food producers in 2022. And the other one, of course, having participated in this training with Khalid, that's why I was also invited to be here to at least give my views on this topic we are discussing. We also participated in the last AGM, the last African Food Summit, which was conducted in Dar es Salaam. We were very glad to participate in that. And this is our main product, that is cassava starch. And having produced the cassava starch, we come out with the byproducts which are converted into animal feeds materials. You can see them there. But we also have a distribution shop present in the city, Dar es Salaam. But we also have an agent who has been distributing our products to especially in Arusha, but also in different areas. Also, we have been participating in the exhibitions and the trade shows to try to market our products, as we know that our markets our products are not consumed by everybody, but mostly it's consumed by producer industry, by consumer industry, that is those which I've mentioned before. And these are some of our investors. We have the angel investors who invested to us to start this project, and of course they have been helping us and pushing a lot. With all these that I have talked of, we have the milestones and social impacts that we have reached by doing what we have been doing. These are milestones. We have the business formalization, which has been completed, and we also succeeded to sell about 60 tons of starch. And also we are glad that we made a gross margin of 38.7%. Also we sold also both to domestic markets, but also to external markets. So we are also at the external markets. We registered also to small industry development organization, which has been mentoring us on how to do this project. But also we gained some membership, that is African Food Change Makers. We are also the members in Tanzanian Cassava Producers and Processors Association. We are also members in Khalid. Also managed to attend the agribusiness trainings, that like the one which you have seen the certificates. But also we have been able to build a permanent industry. We started in a very temporary market, in a very temporary structure, which was covered by just iron sheets, but now we have the permanent industrial factory, which we have been producing our starch. And we have finalized the proof of concept, and now we are in the process of fundraising some money to put on the one which we want to innovate. The one I told you, the mobile factory, which will be helping us to reduce like carrying unused materials from the farm, but we go directly to the farm, we process there and come with it to the factory just for finalization. So this, and there's the social impacts we have gained so far in the no poverty. You can see that 64, this is not 64, it's 74 outgrowers, smallholder farmers have gained that amount, 15,000, more than 15,000 USD, but also we have been able to sell the food grade, as I have said it earlier, and we also have more than cassava, more than 241 cassava tubers rescued from spoiling. You can see this is the social impact that we have given to the smallholder farmers. But the post-harvest knowledge have been given to our smallholder farmers. They're selected, but also the ones whom we expect to select, also we have been giving them this education. So you can see that we have a very great social impact that we are, of course, it's a very small, but we are trying to push to go to the higher stages. Thank you very much. We are welcoming you. Anybody who can be able to support this initiative, most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gideon. It's a very, very interesting as well, because as you say, cassava is everywhere in Africa or in many countries, but it's not everywhere optimized as you are doing it. And a bit those niche markets first to, of course, minimize all the post-harvest, and the waste, but also to make revenues, employ people, and to make added value products. So very well done, and thank you very much as well for having contacted us in August in the email related to those sessions to present the case. And here you are. That's why I encourage much more among the participants to just contact us and explain, and then hopefully you will get support, be from our side, be from PAFO, or be from any of the many partners who are also actually among the audience. So our last speaker in this first part is now Ethiopia. So we remain in East Africa. Yonas, ALEMU, founder and CEO, Lovegrass Ethiopia. Very also actually very happy that you could join us. I know you are traveling. It's not a very easy week already. So basically you are the founder of Lovegrass Agro-Processing in Ethiopia. You have a background in farming, or coming from rural or a farming area in Ethiopia. You have basically outside in Europe, in the UK and other countries, you have studied, and especially your background has been done in banking, investment banking, as a trading risk analyst for various banks. We have put that in the biodata for details. And after nearly 2 decades in investment banking, you decided to go back to Ethiopia and to start Lovegrass Ethiopia and work with a rural household. So we are insisting, we have panelists, who present and have done all their life in agriculture with the farming and the families, and which is excellent. And we have others who come from different backgrounds, professionally speaking, and one day decide to go back to the country and to commit as well to and we love both, because everybody has a role to play, and it's a way as well showing that agriculture can be really offering opportunities, and not the sector a bit forgotten or a bit perceived as risky that many want to convince us. So being a banker and going back to agriculture, I mean, congratulations before anything. And
thank you.
Then, and then you are going to talk to us about something which is very, very special as well. I love it myself. TEF, And you cannot go also to Ethiopia without teff. And it has so much discovered, values, nutrition values and others, that actually we should all eat teff. So please go ahead in 10 minutes to tell everything about teff and to convince many of the people,
no,
to encourage.
Isolina, yeah, no, keep going. You're doing great there. Introducing teff.
Not as good as you. Please go ahead.
All right, okay. Well, as you said, I am the founder of Lovegrass Ethiopia. Lovegrass means teff. So for those of you who don't know what teff is a staple food in Ethiopia. For those of you who have visited Ethiopia, you may have, I'm sure you have eaten this flat bread, we call it injera, fermented bread. It's made from teff. Teff is the smallest edible grain in the world. It's a gluten-free, incredibly nutritious, very high fiber. It's got pretty much all of the essential amino acids, very, very healthy cereal. Unfortunately, outside of Ethiopia, not very much known until quite recently in some markets, in developed markets, because of the gluten-free, high fiber, plant-based diet, veganism, all the new trends that are emerging around the world. Teff is becoming very, very popular now. Well, relatively. But before that, for thousands of years, it is a staple in Ethiopia, but hardly known outside of Ethiopia. So I can tell you a little bit about my own background and how the company started. Basically, the majority of Ethiopians generally live in rural, they're agrarian, it's an agrarian economy. Over 75–80% of Ethiopians live in a rural area. Ethiopia is one of the least kind of urbanized societies in the world. So the majority of the population like that being farmers, producing all sorts of farm products, teff being the main product. There is hardly any industrial processing done with teff, even with all the market opportunities out there emerging. And if you know what's happening with quinoa in Latin America, it's a Latin American seed, pretty much similar story and similar nutritional profile. It has become one of the engines, one of the tools to change the economy of, especially around Bolivia, Peru, and those kind of countries. But in Ethiopia, hardly any work was done. So my background, as Isolina earlier mentioned, I grew up in a farming household. When I finished my studies, I went to Europe. I finished my studies, ended up in banking, investment banking for many, many years. So really, my background and my exposure extends all the way from farming household in Ethiopia to what is happening all around the world in New York, in Singapore, and London, etc. And I've been observing this trend in the gluten-free and health, high nutrition, plant-based diet, etc. But Ethiopia was a missing link. And some now 15 years ago, one of the most extraordinary cases of biopiracy took place. So basically, I don't want to take a lot of your time, but what happened was the Ethiopian government went into an agreement with some traders, some businesses in the Netherlands, and they agreed to what they call a profit sharing scheme. So effectively, they take teff from Ethiopia, they commercialize it, and then whatever profit is made, they will share with the country. If you actually look very closely as to why a country in Africa has to hand over its #1 product from an agrarian economy like Ethiopia to a small business in the Netherlands. If you dig into it, it simply happened because we didn't have the capacity to brand, to manufacture, to innovate new products, and compete directly in the international market. That is fundamentally the reason why. For me, then I was obviously, in my investment banking role, very busy job, but it was very painful. In a sense, here I am watching the very grain that I've grown farming in my own household. When I go back and visit Ethiopia, I see my rural extended families still farming teff, but we don't have institutional capacity to produce something new, something that we haven't done for the last thousands of years, and bring it into the world. And that's why the government felt they had to do this. But basically what this business in the Netherlands did was they patented the use of teff, and Ethiopia was literally left in, in limbo, that we cannot use the very grain, the #1 seed that we grow in Ethiopia. We cannot commercialize it and take it to the world. The very concept of it was very disturbing to me. So finally, I decided, all right, I leave my job, and there's no point complaining about it. I go back to Ethiopia, and I set out some clear targets. What I want to do. #1, 100% value addition in Ethiopia. What work can we do with the farmers to improve yield and agricultural productivity generally, and also kind of trying to connect them to the international market, and also a few other things like what can we do, what sort of products can we come up with to fight malnutrition in the country and probably in the continent as well. So with a mission set, then I went back to Ethiopia and started the business. So if you go to the next slide for me, thank you. So this is pretty much a little part of what we have done. In 2015, we started. In 2022, after a lot of challenges, especially COVID didn't help, we opened our factory just in the outskirts of Addis Ababa, the capital city of Ethiopia. Last year, our products already made it in Europe. Some of our products are awarded. We actually hold the gold medal for the free from competition. For the snacks product, we were awarded silver last year. And we're coming up with lots of interesting products for the market. So we have shelf spacing in Ocado, Planet Organic, negotiating with larger retailers. We were already in Selfridges, if you know the UK. We are negotiating with big supermarkets in France and in Germany. And we are also just about to secure Carrefour in Kenya, our first order, because one of our other effort is what we can do within the African continent. We're going around exhibiting around the world. We were in the IATF Cairo, the Inter-Africa Trade Fair, just a month ago. We met a lot of interesting entrepreneurs and markets around within the continent, not just to sell to other countries, but also to buy ingredients from other countries. Like we get our cocoa, for example, from France, where we could get it from Ivory Coast or Nigeria or Ghana. So that kind of work, we get a lot of packaging material from outside of Ethiopia, in China and Turkey, where we could get it from Kenya. So it's not just selling finished goods to other African countries, but also buying raw materials that we need from other African countries.
Microphone is off.
I'm sorry, I just muted myself accidentally. Okay, so as I said, we have our factory in Ethiopia. We are working across three areas, product categories: breakfast cereal, powdered beverages, and snacks. Powdered beverages particularly very close to my heart because it's meant to fight nutrition and bringing to the market products that are very easy to consume, very familiar to the local community. It's effectively a protein shake, mainly imported from Europe at an extortionate price. But these are products that can be produced, and we are producing in Ethiopia and supplying. We have started supplying to the market and hopefully to Kenya as well and other African countries. If you move to the next slide for me, thank you. The other work that we do is one of the pillars I mentioned to you is what can we do with the farmers. For me, this is very, very close to my heart. I'm one of those that boy you see there. If you scratch back 30 years ago, that could have been me. What can we do to improve yield? We have been farming this grain for thousands of years. It's one of the oldest known seeds in the world. In Ethiopia, to this day, it's farmed using ox plow. It's harvested in an incredibly old-fashioned way by walking cows on it and blowing it up in there, etc. We discovered that we just, with the use of small-scale machinery and so to harvesting and transportation, etc., we could save 35% yield improvement. 35, literally through just a small-scale use of, in fact, some of them locally found harvesting machines. So we work with around 600 farmers already, and we are hoping to increase that to double that actually in 2 years' time. For us as a business as well, it isn't just we're giving away something. For us, we get very good quality product from the farmers. The farmers get market, and in the future, we are also hoping to help the farmers to do some value addition, branding, and then doing what we are doing at the moment directly themselves, as opposed to just toiling the whole year and then providing their produce to the market. If you move to the next page for me, thanks. Sure. Okay, so I think you can find out what TEF is. If you move to the next slide for me, thank you. I don't know how to move it. These are the kind of products we produce, our breakfast cereal. On the next slide, we have produced pasta, 100% TEF pasta. These are all the international awards that we have received. We have been voted the most innovative product of the year when we come up the Health Innovative Better For You product of the year in the UK. That's for 100% TEF pasta. So we are on target, meeting pretty much most of what we have set out to achieve, i.e., can we brand? Can we produce in Ethiopia? Can we innovate products that haven't existed before and tell our own marketing story and bring it to Europe, America, and the international market and compete directly? As you can see, our brand is Lovegrass Ethiopia. We happily mention we are Ethiopian. At the back of each of our products, we write saying, proudly made in Ethiopia. No, we are in effect rebranding and then creating the possibility that it is possible to create your own product, innovate, tell your own stories. There is so much story we can tell in that continent, in Africa. Our own story, a very original story, no lying, no adulteration, true story, and compete directly in the international market. That's what we are trying to achieve. Thank you. I think I will stop here, Isolina.
Thank you very much, Yonas. We will get back in the Q&A part, but wow, what nice products. pasta
Thank you.
and pancakes out of teff. You know, I stayed with the teff on the galettes, you know, the kind of bread you use. And I wanted to ask you the branding packaging, because it's just wow. Where do you do it? In Ethiopia? You do it externally, you import?
Well, we have the branding and marketing team in Ethiopia, but we have a team in South Africa. We know branding. I can't stress enough on the importance of branding. If we talk about niche market, Africa is not highly branded. We don't have a great brand. And people do not expect us to meet, I mean, I would say in Ethiopian case, Ethiopia to meet the highest food and hygiene standards in the world. So we have to be above and beyond what, you know, people expect for that acceptance to happen in a niche market.
But that's really great. I mean, because it's always something, packaging and labeling, where sometimes, you know, entrepreneurs struggle. You have a lot of compliments as well in the chat, and some interest from Angela in Kenya. If you export to Kenya, you have already some customers there, I think.
Great, thank you, Angela.
It's really very impressive, all very, very impressive. So that's time, you know, it's not enough, not enough time, those sessions, but as life is. So we go now to the second part, which is really a continuation of the first one, because you know, is entrepreneurs as you know, successful as in the first panel, but sometimes, you know, with additions in training, communities, in supporting. But in this particular case today, not much, you know, different. So we go now to Guinée. Et en Guinée, comme Babafemi et comme Jérémy.
In Guinea, like Babafemi and Jeremy told us at the beginning, we have Virginie. Virginie is very sorry. You know that terrible events are currently taking place in Guinea. We thank you for being with us in those difficult conditions. Virginie TOURE of BAGLION de la DUFFERIE, because you married a BAGLION de la DUFFERIE. A nobility title, I suppose, a countess, I think. But anyway, Virginie, you are Franco-Guinean, and since 2019, the managing director of Société Guinéenne pour le Développement Durable, with its head office based in Conakry, Guinea. You are also a manager of the Dondoli Kouré farm in Sanoya, Guinea, and Virginie, you have the same story as Yonas. You come from a farming family, from a rural area, as many of us, myself including. But you had a brilliant career in the field of communication, and just one day you decide, like Yonas, to get back to Guinea and to valorize, to enhance products which are grown there. I give you the floor, Virginie, sorry. Hello, hi everybody. I'm particularly happy to be given the opportunity to address colleague members. I'm going to describe the company called Société Guinéenne pour le Développement Durable. SGDD is a company, it's a business producing on its own site in Sanoya, in the Dubrika prefecture in Guinea. We produce fruits, vegetables, and we process them and market them on the local market. Our approach is organic, with annual sales of $50,000 in 2022. SGDD employs 30 people, including 24 women. We work with small farmers producing pepper, mango, pineapple, and we also work with 2 beekeepers. History of the CGDD. What is important to know is that the company was created on April 1st, 2019, no joke. And very quickly, we developed a brand called La Paysanne Gourmande, the gourmet country girl. Thinking of my father, he was he was a Guinean farmer, and starting from September, we began to market our first products, mainly pineapple juice. because at the time we already had a pineapple plantation working with small farmers. Later on, we took part in the SARA in Abidjan, where we presented our products, but unfortunately, our activities had to stop in 2020, as was the case for many small farmers because of COVID-19. And this had a tragic, dramatic consequences on our activities. We went back, we resumed our activities in 2021 after many losses. And in 2021, we submitted a request for organic certification. One of our ambitions is to provide consumers with healthy and also premium quality fruits and vegetables, certified organic fruits and vegetables. Most fruits and vegetables today in Guinea are exposed to chemical inputs, and they don't resist it, because if you buy a tomato on the market today, after 1 or 2 days, it is rotten, it is spoiled. And I wanted consumers to be able to eat healthy food and high-grade food. So our ambition is to enhance the value of small-scale farmers, and together we are trying to obtain an organic certification. Our second aim is to avoid post-harvest losses. Our values, as I told you, product freshness, seasonality of fruit and vegetables, because working over the season is good. You get high quality producers for the products for the consumer. Proximity also, proximity with consumers. We also focus on sustainable partnership and innovation, because each year we start growing new products. It is important for us to innovate and to work on new products each year. Our vision, as I told you earlier on, is to promote an agriculture that respects people, the environment, and animals. We also want to develop and to encourage agroforestry, because we do a lot of crop association on our farms. We grow pineapple together with pawpaw, with palm trees. So in the banana plantation, you have bananas, of course, but also other fruit which are grown in association, in combination, the aim being to develop agroforestry. And of course, we want to support all the local producers we are working with. Our strong points is our proximity with consumers, because Sanoya is in the middle of Conakry. We accompany our small producers. We encourage circular economy. We try to add value to waste, and also we process our agricultural products on site using small processing units. The aim being to guarantee product traceability. The team, myself and the nephew, Rajin, Famara Diallo, our sales agents, Sherif Aydara, our financial officer, Sam Shidiak, in charge of communication, Aïsata Diallo, in charge of processing, Alseni Sankon, in charge of certification, and Fatou Touré, our quality person. Regarding the brand, La Paysanne Gourmande, the gourmet country girl, I'm a gourmet myself. And as I said, I wanted to pay tribute to my father, who was a farmer as well. And as a gourmet, I preferred to focus on myself and on our farmers as gourmet country girls. So we offer fresh fruit, pineapple, banana, mango, pawpaw. Dried fruits, banana, mango, orange, banana, basil, and sweet potato leaves, dried. Juice, banana juice, mango, banana as well, BOTO. Actually, I work a lot on with wild fruits. We also produce jam and marmalade. We offer honey because Guinea produces one of the best honeys worldwide. This honey is being certified. And very soon we shall be present on the sub-regional and on the international markets. We have our own herbal fruits, herbal teas, lemongrass, for instance. And we also offer flowers, banana flower, trying to take advantage of the gluten it contains, cassava flour as well. We also process sweet potato flour, and finally spices, pepper, black pepper. We work together with 34 pepper producers, Poivre Noir de Macenta, and we try to highlight the quality of their products. And we are considering to ask for a protected designation for that pepper. Here is the range of our products: jellies, dried banana, herbal tea, flowers, different flowers, and different products with the brand La Paysanne Gourmande. As for the market, we work with individuals, private and public companies, and stores, shops. Today, our market is distributed in that way. And among our customers, we have stores, grocery stores, and of course, we are trying to export our products. And I believe that by 2024, once we have obtained the certification for organic agriculture, we shall start exporting to Europe and to Canada, and also to other countries in our sub-region, because Africa per se is a big market, and we'll try to capitalize on our sub-region before moving on to non-African countries. Now, our outlook. We are planning to develop an e-commerce site to allow consumers to buy our products online. And we also want to innovate our juice production, to modernize our juice production line, because it works, but it is not very much up to date. We also want to develop eco-responsible packaging. For the time being, our packaging is environmental friendly, but we wish all our products from now on to be eco-responsible as well. And finally, our aim in the long term would be to export to the European and American markets, as well as in the sub-region. And here is that was a picture, if you like, summarizing the activities of La Paysanne Gourmande, banana, pineapple, and lemongrass being our main products. Thank you very much. Thank you, Virginie. It was particularly interesting. And I would like to answer a number of questions we have here. We have lots of wows, and people are very impressed. But all these presentations will be put online. That is the one you have in copy. As for contacts, before I give the floor to our last speaker, for legal reasons, we are not allowed to share private contacts without the authorization of individuals. But each time you want to approach someone, except if that person puts their addresses in the chat, but if you want the contact data of anyone of these producers, let us know, and we shall transfer those data to you.
So without a major delay, our last presenter today, that's why I encourage you as well to put the latest questions, comments, etc. In addition to all the wows and the impressive, etc., for which I agree with you, is Nazim. Nazim Chivyi, Managing Director of Humphrey Farms in Uganda. So you are born and raised in Uganda, even if, like other speakers, you studied outside in the UK, Canada, and so on. You are really a serial entrepreneur, really interested and I remember the conversations I had with you, really passionate about it. So since 2012, you are the principal and managing director of Humphrey Farms with trading in organic. And we said organic is also, even if it's increasing and increasing, considered a bit as certainly as a high value market and a niche market to start with, and with lots of potentiality, not only in export markets, but also within the continent. So you specialize in production, processing and export of organic fruits, vegetables, herbs and spices. And for all these, you would have seen yourself, for all these niche markets, you would have seen that this, in addition to, of course, the product, the quality, the markets, etc., the social and environmental aspects and sustainability are very, very important. And all our speakers are committed to that. So Namzi, please, if you could make it in 10 minutes maximum. We are a bit delayed today, but we can give you the time as agreed. Please go ahead. Thank you very much for joining us as well.
Thank you for having me. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I congratulate all those who have presented before me. It's humbling and so stimulating to learn. I wanted to say, Isolina, you're right that I was born and raised in Uganda and went to study in England, but in 1972, Uganda had a dictator come along called Idi Amin. And although we are born and raised in Uganda and have been here for over 100 years, we were part of the people that were expelled from Uganda. And I'm delighted to say that a country called Canada, 11 time zones away from us, accepted us refugees. And it was a pleasure for us to come back 44 years later to Uganda to do what we are doing now. The plantation itself is now 93 years old. And our family was granted it. It was given to us in custody 53 years ago. We are not at all farmers. But the plantation, 600 hectares, was gifted to us because of the actions of our ancestors in the early 1900s in India. At that time, we were entrepreneurs. We didn't understand why somebody would give us a plantation until we returned to Uganda from Canada. It was only then that we woke up to how backward we had been in the past during our stay in Uganda in not looking after the environment, looking after nature, disposing of waste, etc. And with this in mind, having got our plantation back under the current regime in 1995, that my brother Amin, and the company is named after Amin, my brother Amin, Humphrey, decided not only would we take up agriculture, but we would take it up in an organic manner. And Humphrey became the first certified organic farmer in Uganda. And we went to Switzerland, and IMO was our first certifier, and we have now been certified organic since 1998. Happily, through support from other agencies like DENIDA and others, we were able to enhance our organic certification to biodynamic or Demeter. And we happen to be the first such certified entity in sub-Saharan Africa at that time. We are delighted to say that in addition to the plantations that we have, we have been able to onboard and recruit and train and certify 3,000 certified organic smallholder farmers. 3,000 certified organic farmers, and we have stuck primarily to the rural areas, the areas which are most poverty-stricken, and now are the victims of climate change. The old rain-fed method of planting, which can carry on for centuries, cannot happen in Uganda anymore. And so it is important that they adapt to policies that save soil, conserve soil, and we are also introducing solar-powered irrigation at a small scale with a lot of support. Above all, the Demeter method of regenerative agriculture has now been proved to sequester vast amounts of carbon dioxide and CO2 equivalents. For instance, for only every kilo of produce that we create, we sequester 37 kilos of CO2 and CO2 equivalents. And after being in business for the last 50 years, it is now that international entities who have been coming to us for our fruits and products and vegetables and our frozen fruits are now approaching us to do with them carbon sequestration projects. And this, to me, is now the most exciting part of AMFRE's evolution. It will enable us to grow from the current 3,000 farmers we have to over 10,000 farmers in the next 2 years. And these are under fully funded programs with multinationals, large global entities that require our carbon credits from Africa. And it was always a very difficult thing to understand. However, that is a niche that we now intend to fulfill and lead the rest of Uganda, East Africa, and the Central African region in. Happily, almost every one of the products that our sister Virginie was talking about, Yonas was talking about, etc., they all have a carbon sequestration profile. And I was delighted to learn that chia seeds have a very high carbon sequestration profile. Moringa trees, for instance, have an exceptionally high carbon sequestration. So no longer is it that you just have to grow trees to sequester carbon. We can grow organically chemical-free products, which are not only edible, but have huge global markets. And you are right that the global market has the ability to spend higher value dollars, premium dollars, where they feel that the provenance of the product is good, where we have done good things for the community. And over the last 26 years of AMFRE's existence, we have had outgrowers who have been with us for over 23 and 24 years. And no matter where we go in any region, it is easy to pick out who the AMFRE outgrowers are. To every one of you that has already been making presentations, I invite you, I share with you the offer that we will at our cost be delighted to support you in anything you need to become certified organic. It may be a process, it's a costly process. However, it's the discipline that is more important. And at no cost, because this is really what we are here for, is to share the knowledge that we have. And I'm so proud and I'm so delighted, absolutely delighted, to hear successful bankers going back to their country of origin, taking an indigenous crop, and then not only monetizing it, but giving the country and the community pride. This is something Africa needs a lot more of. And I salute Bafo, I salute Collier. You've been around for a long time. I haven't been here for 50 years, but I know that when we first started in 1997, the first support we got was to create a website, and it came from a predecessor or a successor to you. So for all that, I say thank you. I don't want to take up more of your time, but I leave myself to open for questions. But as I said, each and every one of the participants and those in the audience, feel free to communicate with Collier, with Ms. Isolina and others. And believe me, it will be our pleasure to support you in every way possible. Thank you for your time, and thank you for enriching our lives so much.
Thank you very much, Nazim. Very interesting, all of you, and it's true. It's a very inspiring for any in the room. I mean, and beyond, because as I said, we will get these messages much beyond. Now we have a little time, but still we had a few, as I said, more are contacts, and of course a very impressive. Compliments, etc., that you would have seen in the chat and the Q&A. But just to have another round, I would get a few actually consolidated question on the basically all our successes. It doesn't mean that it was easy, that the path was easy. It doesn't mean that it was without challenges, etc. But basically, according to you and with your different perspective, what strategy, what do you think between the strategies to develop those niche markets, the part in answering consumer expectations, do you think that it is very difficult? I mean, the consumer part to getting really, even if it's niche, you want the market increasing, the demand increasing, and the consumers happy. If you could tell us a bit about that. And the kind of incentives, you would need, whatever they are, I mean, finance, technical, etc., to really develop even more the niche markets or others, to engage in niche markets. We have seen that all of you, attend fairs, trainings, develop different parts of the businesses. Of course, everything counts. We have seen a lot in our sessions on skills development and keeping always alert, etc. And there are questions about the certification as well. The certification not only for export markets, but also within the continent, within the African big market and big opportunities. How difficult it has been, or how do you see the opportunities growing in I mean, export as well as African markets, be sub-regional or be continental, or for the whole continent. So perhaps we take a bit in the same order. I mean, well, Gideon, if we can start by Gideon. You are online, Gideon? Or if the connection is not, we go to Yonas, whoever is ready first, in the interest of time. Yes?
Okay.
Yes, go on, Jonas, yes.
Yeah. Hi, Isolina. Well, first of all, it's not easy. Okay, I think let me start from there. Nothing is easy. There are big players in the industry that I'm in the food industry, health food industry. There are huge competitors. This is a multi-billion-dollar business. There are major competitors with a lot of financing, a lot of access to technology, skilled labor, etc. And that is where the whole idea of a niche marketing strategy or a niche idea comes into the picture. Now, to me, in my opinion, for me personally, what helped me is, in the first place, to have something really big to aim for. Now, if I didn't have the mission that I set out for myself quite a while ago, before I left my job, I probably would have folded quite a while ago. So it has to be really so big that it just wakes you up. That's so important that you have one need to have that. I need it anyways. And secondly, there is no point trying to fight in the kind of big. I mean, we export our pasta to Italy. Okay, so I mean, Ethiopia exporting pasta to Italy. I mean, it's not a huge volume; it's symbolic, but it makes me proud. The fact of the matter is, there is no chance on earth Lovegrass, my company, will compete with the likes of Barilla, which is a multi-billion-dollar monster. So that is why the need for a very, very niche market, niche space is so important. That's where, and the whole idea of messaging, the whole idea of identifying the good trends in the market, and then how you can actually fill that gap and trend, and then you can develop, obviously enlarge the envelope and then become a big player, hopefully. But the biggest challenge for us, for example, we have proven a lot of the things we've ticked, both in the local market and in our European market. Can we compete, etc.? Can we brand? I mean, our brand has been voted Future Brand of the Year in 2019. But to be able to scale it up now, to get to a bigger market, say to the American market, even the wider market in Europe, the level of financing needed is a huge struggle for us. Big struggle. So anyways, so having a big vision, having a good mission, a strong, solid mission, and understanding market trends. There's a lot of information out there, really niche market trends, and then trying to develop products and services that will fill that market trend. To me, that's the only way I see it. But financing, unfortunately, is a big issue, a big challenge for the continent and for us as well.
Thank you very much. Well, I agree with you that beating pasta with teff from Ethiopia, that is an achievement. That's wow. That means everything is possible. And it's true that
Totally.
Financing, I don't know you experience, but most of in our sessions, because I think it's your first time in these sessions, but in the recurrent theme is also that the finance for some of the businesses in Africa who are a bit in the middle is not adapted, because either is microfinance or it's multi-millions, which sometimes you don't need straight away. So that, and we have been advocating with PAFO and others that the missing middle, somehow, not the very too big companies or really micro, is a bit difficult to get financing there as well. But we also, I don't know today in the participants, but we have regularly, and we are very close with some of the blending finance and funds. So hopefully we can continue as well exchanging on that. But I fully agree with you. And I think from your stories, all the proximity you have as well for the quality product with the producers and helps, because I think you have also a trust there. In providing you with quality products and not just, for money or, just for work and then living.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Gideon? Unmute yourself if, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I can hear you. Of course, the network was not good. I didn't hear your question, please.
We were mentioning is a bit from the questions. Well, there are more, as I say, compliments and so on. But from the questions, a bit, what is your experience in feeding that space with the consumer expectations? Do you manage, to keep delivering what the consumer really wants? And what kind of incentives do you think, the SMEs, smallholders getting into a niche markets should get? And the problem of the certification as well, and the opportunities in the African markets. Any of those you want to pick up? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much. I've understood your question. Of course, the expectations in the market, as I mentioned about the market for starch and my animal feeds is very high. But the problems comes to the production capacity of these small industries like mine. Of course, we have been trying to push a lot, and that's where we came with the idea of having a mobile factory that at least in order to add up the production capacity and at least feed a part of the market that needs our products, we came to recognize that with the small machines we have, we need to introduce a new technique of adding the quantity needed in the market. So that's why we came out with this, that we go direct to the farm and we work with smallholder farmers. Those smallholder farmers becomes also our casual laborers who will be extracting some cassava tubers from the ground and peeling and start the production, help up the production. But the good thing is we don't carry unwanted materials, because we will be coming with with the products which at least need only maybe two stages to become the final products. So that's what we became to recognize, that we have been carrying very unuseful products which at the end of the day we don't meet the demand of the market. And for these small enterprises, of course, we need to make a very thorough market research. The market research is very important to know who needs your market. We know that our products cannot be used by everybody, but you should know specifically who needs your product and at what quantity does they one need. And the thing you have mentioned about the specification, the certifications, certifications are very important. And this has been affecting me a lot. Sometimes I go to the breweries or to the pharmaceuticals, though I'm confident with the quality of my product, but they need the certified one. They need the TBS. Here in Tanzania, we use the Tanzania Bureau of Standards. So they need that brand of TBS to see that this is a certified product. So this is very important, especially when you are dealing with food products. It's very important. And so having known that the requirements for your products, there you go for sure. And the market is very huge if you have done a very good market research. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Gideon. Virginie, do you have anything to add on those points? You are muted.
Oui,
Virginie,
en fait,
voilà.
je voulais vraiment...
Merci.
Oui, en fait, là, vous m'entendez?
Can you hear me now?
Très bien.
Oh,
Okay.
D'accord. En fait, je voulais vraiment encourager les petits.
I really wanted to encourage small producers, small growers to create cooperatives, because it will be much easier for them to get certification, organic certification. Also, we are producers, but we are not necessarily exporters. So the objective is not necessarily to export, but to come together, to work together for producing enough volumes. Because very often we create a business thinking that we shall export later on, but we won't be able to export if we don't have enough volumes. So the aim is to work as a group and to adopt an organic approach in our case, of course. Thank you very much for sharing your experience and for focusing on women and young people. I've just seen a question on the Q&A. Those sessions really focus on businesses which are already present on the market, local, regional, or export markets. But some of our partners do not necessarily support young people who want to work in agriculture and to want to develop. Of course, online, we have just a long list of services that we can provide, trainings, technical assistance, and so on, as mentioned by Jeremy earlier on. And of course, we can offer you a wide range of services. Our sessions are,
and there was also a question from one of my colleagues as well, the competition, of course, how to stay a bit afloat. But I think Yonas replied to that one as well. It's very tough, obviously, very, very tough competition, and it's for incessant. but perhaps the fact like the geographical indications, the certifications, the labeling, the uniqueness of the product, the uniqueness of the branding, and from my experience, a bit, having seen many entrepreneurs, is the story you tell as well. And one listens to you all. The common part after having products of quality, locally owned, supporting local entrepreneurs, local farmers, local smallholders, is that it's the story. It's really something where people have a social, environmental commitment in addition, of course, to the business side. But it's always very, very tough. But if you have anything to say on that, and there are some requests for contacts as well. Nazim or any of you, Yonas, Gideon, for those who are still connected, please go ahead, Nazim. And then Babafemi, yeah.
Funding in Africa is exceptionally expensive, and that is a major stall. For Uganda, where we are, lack of infrastructure is even more bothersome because we are a landlocked country. And to export from here, to go to a coast, which is either in Tanzania or in Kenya, adds another $4,000 per container. But I'm happy to tell you that there are clients out there who will happily pay part of this higher cost to move it from Uganda or the equator to the coast and still buy it, competing with Vietnam and other countries. And that is all a question of their integrity and their belief in what we are doing within a continent which needs the help. So have patience, but be sure that the right people will pay a premium to continue to support us in what we are doing. Are we profitable? No. I've generated more debt from my own family than I could ever generate back in my life. But it's worthwhile. It's worthwhile to have 3,000 outflows and hopefully escalate it to 10,000 before I turn 70 in 2 years. I'm very happy indeed. But be confident, the market is ready, and they are now much more aware of where our efforts and products are taking them. So have confidence.
You want to add something, Gideon, Yonas, Virginie, anybody else?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as we said earlier, it's not easy, okay? But with any success it comes with a lot of struggle. I don't believe in an easy success, in my opinion. It may take time, but if one is focused enough and really do the, persist on a challenge, the likelihood is they will succeed. I mean, we can talk about Silicon Valley and all the changes it's bringing to the world, and people may mention Steve Jobs or Bill Gates or Larry Ellison, etc. People forget there are thousands and thousands who have actually lost their shirt, tried everything and lost. But big changes, big industries can only be created through this kind of trial and error, and there is no other choice. I mean, that is the only way. So people will fail, they will pivot, they will try something else, but we have to continue trying anyway. There is no choice. But the possibilities are there. In my opinion, my own experience is I have never, from the day that I started to this day, I've never felt I will fail. Never. And I keep on pushing. And it gives me huge pride that we are in Whole Foods supermarket from a little village, from a small factory in Addis. And if we keep on pushing, it can be done. It can be done. And my hope is big investors also will start to see when you can prove a concept that it can be done, it can be enlarged, and it can grow infinitely. So yeah, we just have to keep on trying. It's possible. That is a starting point.
Anybody else? Babafemi, you are still online? From my side, Yes, from my side, I give you the last words, Babafemi, but from my side, we are just, it's just on time now. It's indeed, I fully agree with you because nothing is easy, I mean, certainly. And when it's all done, it's so easy, you know, to copy, and that's the industry and you can't change it. But the commitment and the passion is something that really comes out of all you. I mean, all of you, I mean, be whatever the background is, but that is very valuable. The desire to, which I'm always very impressed, well, I admire, I mean, to give back to the country, to support the local communities, I think that has no value. I mean, I'm trying really to train people, to get them employment, to, you know, to open doors for them. This has no value. I mean, it cannot be done by somebody who just wants business. It's not sustainable. That's what I believe in. But of course, all the efforts on the business, because it has to be a business. So the branding, the quality, the uniqueness, the differentiation, the branding Africa or branding Ethiopia, as Yonas say proudly. And that's what we want to achieve in those innovation sessions. We all know there are problems, obviously, in Africa and elsewhere. But, you know, we are more focused on the solutions and what can be done. And what we want to show is all the things that are done in Africa, instead of always speaking about problems that Africa seems to have more, which I don't believe for a second myself. Anyway, so it's that inspirational, you know, part which is engaging young people. I think myself, agriculture and agri-food is really an exciting sector, and is trying to engage, you know, to give that passion you all have to this new generation, because we need young people, you know, and showing that it's possible, and it's really nice products, and they look great, and they're on market, and it's not all just, you know, surviving in a piece of land which almost no chances. That shouldn't happen anyway, and we are all committed to change this. But it's very, very inspirational. So I thank you so much for taking the time. You know, you don't need that. I mean, when we see where you are, you don't need to come and spend 2 hours with us of your precious time, you know, just sharing a nice story. And I think that has no value as well. We have no way to thank you for that. That just hoping that it will inspire many more to do what you have done. So that's the only thing I can say from my side. Yeah, thank you so much. And we keep in touch, of course. I mean, we keep in touch. And hopefully that wherever we can, my colleagues, my institution, PAFO and others, we work with many partners, all of us can do for you. I mean, it will just be a drop in everything you have done already yourselves. So thank you very much. And thank you for all the teams, interpreters.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, Babafemi, perhaps as a word, yes?
Just to thank the panelists for the great presentation they have made. And also, as you said, the series is to, like Nazim said, to build the confidence of young entrepreneurs to the fact that there are opportunities both regionally and internationally which they can exploit for their businesses. So we really appreciate the presentation that have been made, and I believe that it will also encourage others, knowing fully that these young entrepreneurs are blazing the trail in Africa and elsewhere. So I want to really commend you for these presentations, and looking forward to the next edition, and also thanking our team, our technical team, those who are the interpreters, those who are helping us technically to make sure that these series are being continue to be done. So also again to wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year ahead. Thank you. Also, I want to express our thanks to Isolina for the professional way you always handle the moderation of this series. And we are looking forward to also Azel, also the arrangement and all the other people the technical team that have been supporting this. So we look forward to our partnership and cooperation in the new year. Thank you very much.
And thank you to the PAFO team and interpreters. Indeed, have a nice holidays. and see you to the next session. And don't forget, as Axel put it, to visit and to contribute to the blog, Entrepreneurs Blog. Bye-bye. Keep well. Thank you so much. Merci. Obrigado.
Asante.